Tonight, flood victims on standby.
We still don't have an insurance adjuster. There's someone from the insurance company that's in communication with us, but it can't make any decisions.
The province is expected to give access to disaster relief this week. A group of local investors get their bid to buy the Fairmont Chateau Montebello rejected.
We are a group of developer, promoter, and builders, so we would have redeveloped the entire site. That might be the difference between both bids.
But it means a decision has been made, and we'll learn about new ownership soon. Plus, brace yourselves for another wave of heat.
On the really hot days, I'll go through at least one of these, if not multiple.
Environment Canada issues a warning to the region. Good evening. Patricia is off tonight. There's still no timeline for when the province will be stepping in to help residents impacted by the record-breaking rainstorm from nearly 2 weeks ago now. The mayor insists it is on its way, but some councillors say getting help has been way too slow. CTV's Leah Larocque is here with more. Leah.
Stefan, city officials stressing today that this was a 1-in-200-year rainfall event. At last count, there have been nearly 6,000 reports of flooded basements, but the province still hasn't committed any financial aid, raising questions about why not.
We could have put a canoe down in the backyard.
This is the second dumpster full of garbage that Brooke Talisman has filled since her home was inundated with water 13 days ago.
We still don't have an insurance adjuster. There's someone from the insurance company that's in communication with us, but it can't make any decisions.
Excavation, repairs, and garbage trucks fill the neighborhood. Signs that cleanup is far from over. There is still no firm commitment from the province for financial assistance.
We did speak with the mayor as we needed them to make the call for assistance in order to deploy Ontario Corps supports in the area. So we've been working very closely, myself, Minister Flack as well, and working through the next steps in the disaster relief program.
But the mayor says the Disaster Recovery Assistance for Ontarians program, or DREO, should be launched this week.
We would like the provincial help to be confirmed as quickly as possible. That's why I've been talking regularly to the Premier and to the Minister.
Sutcliffe insisting there is no delay. Even if the program was activated already, financial assistance wouldn't come right away.
Nobody would have applied between July the 1st and now for the program anyway, because you cannot apply until after you have gone through the process with your insurance company.
This city says all resources available have been activated to help residents recover. The mayor says on Wednesday he will bring forward motions to help impacted residents, including waiving building permit fees. But Councillor Lane Johnson says the city could have done more earlier.
The city of Ottawa could have done better to initiate with the Red Cross, with the Good Samaritan's Purse, with Ontario Corps, with all of those on-the-ground boot support so that they felt supported.
As residents wait for the province, businesses like Steve Lamb's portable storage company stepping in to help.
We've had a lot of calls, and especially in this area alone. We've had over 20 at least in this area, which is sad to see. A lot of people are going through what they're going through.
Under the provincial program, residents and small businesses can apply for financial assistance of up to $250,000, but it is only accessible if activated by the provincial government for a specific region. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Leah Larocque with the update for us. Thank you, Leah. And the property owner of an Ottawa apartment building says there's still no timeline for when some residents displaced by the Canada Day storm will be able to return home. The record-breaking storm left the Park West building near the Carlingwood Shopping Centre severely flooded. Its electrical system was destroyed. The city says it helped about 80 building residents with temporary housing as of last week. In a statement, Sakeley Properties says its main priority is ensuring safe conditions for residents to return to, and while it's working towards that so far, there is no official reoccupancy date for displaced tenants. And as cleanup from that historic Canada Day storm continues, Ottawa could see its hottest day of the year so far tomorrow. Another heat wave is settling in across the capital and eastern Ontario. With the humidity, the feels-like temperature could reach into the 40s. CTV's Dylan Dyson joins us with more on this stifling summer heat. Dylan.
Yeah, Stefan, Ottawa is currently under a heat warning. By tomorrow, we could have 12 days already this summer where the temperature pushes above 30 degrees. That's double what Ottawa would normally see in an average summer by this time of year. And with this heavy humidity comes an increased risk of thunderstorms as well.
The hard work doesn't get any easier for landscaper David Johnson when temperatures push close to 40 degrees.
When it gets to these kinds of temperatures, especially with the humidity, it gets pretty brutal. Your body feels heavier. Your muscles don't want to move.
On Monday, Environment Canada forecasted a high of 36 degrees with the humidity, which means lots of water and shade breaks.
On the really hot days, I'll go through at least one of these, if not multiple.
And Mother Nature is set to crank the heat up even more.
And temperatures tomorrow could be an all-time record. I mean, we'd have to get to 35.3 tomorrow. We're calling for a high of 35 in Ottawa tomorrow.
Tuesday could become the hottest day of the year in Ottawa so far, with humidex values reaching 43 degrees.
The air, it becomes heavy to breathe, you know, and you know, sweaty, you get sweaty and stuff, and it's pretty uncomfortable, but you manage how you can.
At Dow's Lake, runner Jordana Globerman had to stop off at the swimming dock.
If I run, I go early. I didn't go on Canada Day or anything. It was super hot, but yeah, I probably wouldn't run if it was 43 degrees.
Soren Reamer prefers jumping to running.
I think coming for a swim would totally be worth it on a hot day like that. Nice and refreshing. Easy to get away from the heat for a bit.
But with high humidity comes the chance of thunderstorms for Tuesday as well.
We see a low chance of storms, 30%, but you know, you've already experienced that in July with 30% chance can mean a gully washer.
According to Environment Canada, typically an Ottawa summer would see a total of 15 days of 30-plus temperatures. If we do hit that high of 35 degrees tomorrow, that would be about 8 degrees warmer than average for this time of year. Environment Canada does expect to lift the heat warning after tomorrow, but that does not mean the heat wave will be over just yet. Stefan.
All right, time to crank the AC. Thank you, Dylan. And here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam. The temperature outside right now, 30 degrees. And now for a first check on the weather forecast, let's head outside to where we find our Jackie Perez.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Yes, we are enjoying the sunshine, but getting a little bit of some shade cover here on the Capitol Barbecue patio. See a little bit of a breeze going as well. It is helping the conditions because, as we mentioned, that heat event is going to continue well into Friday, with Tuesday being the warmest day that we will see this week. Mainly clear skies is anticipated for the region, but we could see a little bit of precipitation moving through close to Cornwall. More on that in a bit. But right now, we did mention temperatures are hovering around 27, 28 degrees, but factor in the humidex levels. It's 34 in Ottawa. Pembroke, Bancroft, they're already close to 40, with 39 in Pembroke, as well as in Petawawa, already at 41, 32 in Montreal. A lot of that warmth coming in from the Midwest. Now, I mentioned that a heat warning is in place. Maximum temperatures in the province of Ontario could see up to 37 degrees, again, with humidex values between 38 and 45. So here in Ottawa, we are anticipating mainly clear skies for the evening, feeling more like 27 overnight, and tomorrow the daytime high of 35 degrees. Now, keep in mind, we are anticipating, as we heard, that there could be a thunderstorm risk. We'll have those details for you and more in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. You can scan the QR code on the bottom of your screen to link to us online or visit ctvnewsottawa.ca. We have more details on the heat warning and the city's response to flooding from that historic storm. You can download the CTV News app right now. Just scan the QR code on your screen using your smartphone. In Gatineau, police say a 7-year-old child has died after being pulled from the Blanche River on Saturday. The river is south of Highway 50 in Gatineau, about 25 minutes northeast of downtown Ottawa. Police were called to a section of the river near Rue de Jacquard at around 1 p.m. on Saturday. on reports of a person in distress in the water. Gatineau police confirmed the child was pronounced dead in hospital. The coroner's office is handling an investigation into what happened with assistance from the Gatineau police. Still ahead, the heavy-handed warning about tick season as doctors are being urged to watch for a very specific illness aside from Lyme disease. In other news, a group of local investors that includes the owner of the Sands and the Devcore Group CEO say their bid to buy Fairmont Chateau Montebello was unsuccessful and that the news was delivered in a 2-line letter. CTV's Josh Morano joins us now with the latest on this. Josh.
Yes, Stefan, the group says its proposal focused on long-term investments and keeping strong local ties to the landmark resort. But after a long negotiation process, another offer was selected.
It was definitely a shock and not what we expected.
It's not the news Jean-Pierre Poulin, owner of Devcore Group, wanted to share.
We really thought that we were going to win, and we were close.
After his team, who put in an offer to purchase the Chateau Montebello, received a letter notifying them that their bid was not chosen.
It's not going to be us moving forward and executing on this plan. And so it's definitely not going to remain a Quebec group that's going to manage this.
The team, including Ottawa Senators owner Michael Andlauer, Martin Paquette of Spa Nordique, and Charles-Antoine Allais and Edward Joachim of Elevate Real Estate Properties, say they received the letter notifying them Friday.
We just received a 2-line letters that was saying, unfortunately, you haven't been retained, you haven't been selected, and send us your folio so we can return the 10% deposit.
Their bid stressed local investment, upgrading the resort with up to $150 million, but Allais says it came down to price.
Even though the 3 best offers on the table were really close in price, it's only a couple of hundreds of thousands of dollars probably that made the final difference.
The new owner has not yet been identified.
We're not sure 100%, but we believe that the winner is a very respected hotelier. They have 500 plus hotels in the world, and I'm sure they're going to run the hotel in the proper way.
Residents in Montebello have mixed views, but want the resort to remain open.
We're all very disappointed, and we don't know who it'll be, but we're hoping it's somebody that's got a footprint anyway.
If they are from Canada, I don't have no problem, but not from exterior like China and everywhere. I like better if it's Canada, they own that.
We reached out to the court-appointed receiver, PricewaterhouseCoopers, for the new owners, did not receive an answer before our deadline. The next step is to get approval from a judge, which could take a few weeks. Stefan.
All right, CTV's Josh Morano reporting live for us. Thank you, Josh. We are learning more about a brazen shooting at a popular Toronto street festival over the weekend. Police identifying 2 men shot dead while the search for suspects continues. CTV's Austin Lee joins us live now with the latest on this one. Austin.
As a fan at a news conference this afternoon, Toronto police say the 2 men killed were targeted at the event where some 13,000 people were attending. 25-year-old Shaquan Kwashi and 20-year-old Cesar Vernaza were the 2 men shot dead. 5 others were injured, some of whom were bystanders. Gunfire ringing out at around 8 p.m. Saturday night, sending people scattering, running for their lives, and the chaotic situation has prompted Toronto's police chief to call for stronger legislation to address gun violence and shootings in large gatherings.
When someone is shot and killed in a congregate setting, whether it's a stray bullet or because someone started a fight and pulled a gun, such offenses should be classified as first-degree murder.
Again, no arrests have been made at this point, and police have not provided any updates on possible suspects. Police are, however, asking anyone who is in the area who may have photos or video to reach out to them and send them those videos or those photos. Toronto's Mayor Olivia Chow, she was also at today's press conference, calling Saturday's shooting reckless and disgusting. Stefan.
CTV's Austin Lee reporting live for us. Thank you, Austin. Turning to Montreal now, where a disgraced Canadian fashion mogul, Peter Nygard, has been found guilty of sexual assault and forcible confinement on charges related to incidents from the late 1990s. The now 84-year-old Nygard accepted a plea deal and did not present any evidence in his defense. The assault took place at the 84-year-old's Montreal penthouse between November 1997 and November 1998. The Quebec case is separate from Peter Nygard's conviction in Ontario, where he was sentenced to 11 years in prison on sexual assault charges. He is also facing similar charges in the United States. Nygard started his clothing company in Winnipeg in 1967. It would become one of the largest fashion companies in Canada. U.S. President Donald Trump says America will blockade Iran in the Strait of Hormuz and charge ships for safe passage through the critical shipping route. Trump posted the Hormuz Strait is open and will remain open with or without Iran. Trump goes on to say the U.S. is reinstating the Iranian blockade, which means only Iranian ships or customers entering or leaving the strait will be stopped. Trump also says the U.S. expects to be reimbursed at a rate of 20% on all cargo shipped. Now, this comes after the U.S. and Iran engaged in the largest back-and-forth attacks since they agreed to a ceasefire in April. Iranian forces fired warning shots at 2 ships attempting to cross the strait today, according to state television. Earlier, U.S. Central Command launched overnight strikes on dozens of Iranian targets, and Iran responded with strikes on Bahrain, Jordan, Kuwait, and Oman. 3 people were seriously injured after a 2-vehicle crash in Ottawa's rural West End this afternoon. Police say first responders were called to Orme Road in the village of Ashton, just south of Highway 7, for a collision between a pickup truck and an SUV. A man in his 70s was airlifted to hospital by Orange Air Ambulance in serious but stable condition. A man in his 60s had to be extricated from one of the vehicles by Ottawa firefighters. He was taken to hospital in serious but stable condition as well. A woman in her 30s was also taken to hospital in serious but stable condition. An update now to a fatal collision that took place in the Barrhaven area in May. A man in his 40s has now been charged in the crash that claimed the life of a 29-year-old woman. The incident happened on May 11th at around 7:20 p.m. Officers were called to Fallowfield Road and Via Park Place for a crash involving 1 vehicle and a pedestrian. The 29-year-old female pedestrian died of her injuries several days later. Police say a man in his 40s has now been charged with careless driving causing death. Ottawa police are asking for the public's help to identify a man who publicly exposed himself last week in Stittsville. Police say an incident took place on Friday, July 10th at around 3 p.m. in the 1300 block of Stittsville Main Street. Police say a man publicly exposed himself and masturbated, targeting women. Surveillance photos were obtained from Friday's incident. If you have any information or recognize this person, police are asking you to contact them. In Almont, the Naismith pub is asking for help to identify a costume thief caught on camera taking kegs from the pub's property.
We caught a furry critter. He had a mask on and gloves, I think, and a furry suit on with a tail, and a closer look, it looked like a coyote or raccoon or something like that. And he took 4 kegs.
The pub posted this video to their social media showing someone dressed in an animal costume opening a box with empty kegs. The person then took 4 kegs out before picking them up and walking off with them. The pub says as much as they got a laugh out of the video, they'd like their kegs back. They are asking anyone who spots the containers to let them know, and they'll buy you a drink. No costumes required. The intense heat from backyard shed fire was enough to blow out windows last night. Firefighters were called to a home on Fireside Crescent in the Greenboro area around 8:35 p.m. yesterday. The crew had it under control within minutes, but the heat was enough to break 2 windows of the home nearby. Flames also damaged trees, fences, and patio furniture. The Ottawa Fire spokesperson says the cause is unknown. Well, it's an unimaginable situation for families and parents. Learning your child is critically sick and you have to travel to another city to support them. But a new expansion at the Ronald McDonald House here in Ottawa is helping more families navigate that in the comfort of what is meant to be a home away from home. It's located just steps away from CHEO. CTV's Kimberly Johnson took a tour today.
It was a moment that shattered her world when Michelle Neal learned her daughter Grace was sick.
You don't really focus on the other needs that you have, which is, eat, sleep.
18-month-old Grace was diagnosed with neuroblastoma in 2024, a type of cancer that forms in certain nerve tissues. While she underwent cancer treatments at CHEO, the family from Iroquois Falls, near Timmins, would find themselves here at Ronald McDonald House for 4 months.
Calm everything that was traumatic going on in the background and just allowed us to be present for Grace while they took care of us.
Together, we have added 25,000 square feet.
Now, more rooms and space have been added, allowing 13,000 families to stay here each year. The expansion marked on Monday with an official celebration.
You'll see lots of space for families to spread out.
The rooms have doubled from 14 to 36, with 1 and 2 unit family suites. New family-focused amenities have been added, game and movie rooms, and a living room space with toys for young kids. Also, now a bigger kitchen and dining area.
Provide a space for families to bring in their own food, make their home-cooked meals just like they would at home, share those meals sometimes with other families, which is a really special experience.
The $24.6 million expansion is funded by federal and provincial grants as well as donors. It eliminates the wait list for families that can come as far away as Nunavut.
Children need their parents to be well, to have their best healing journey, and parents that are stressed about trying to travel and afford somewhere to be close to their child, it's really exactly what this house does, is avoid that stress.
Today, Grace is cancer-free, and the Neals say this new space enhances the vital support that was already here.
It's a whole different environment for families to heal, families to process.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
If you haven't had a tick on you, I can guarantee you that either you or somebody that you know is going to get a tick on you soon, because that's how prevalent they are.
Coming up, experts raise the alarm about rapidly rising incidents of another tick-borne illness that can lead to serious complications if untreated. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. Again, a reminder, a heat warning is in place for not just today, but well into Friday. Taking a look at what we can expect for the next 24 hours. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., it's already going to feel like 33. And by noon, 40 with a humidex value. By 4 p.m., it will feel closer to 45. You'll notice that the wind gusts will be between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. That's because there is a chance that we could see some thunderstorms rolling through closer to 8 p.m. Meanwhile, here's a live look. There are Centennial Glass Sky Cam. No signs of dark clouds or rain in sight. Sunny skies for the most part, but it is a little bit of a breeze. 30 degrees is the current temperature. And here's a wonderful shot of Kaweki Point and the Alexandra Bridge.
Welcome back to CTV News at 6. Taking a live look at our traffic cameras right now. We're anticipating that volume on the Queensway is starting to ease. It was very busy earlier in the westbound lanes at Woodruff due to a collision, helping to back things up significantly. A warning now about another rapidly rising tick-borne disease. You know about the threat of Lyme disease. Now, there's something called anaplasmosis, also carried by ticks, but even more dangerous if left untreated. Here's CTV's Adrian Gobriel.
In tall grass and along nature trails, a growing danger is lurking. Black-legged ticks have been expanding their geographical footprint in Canada, driven in part by milder winters. And now this Canadian Medical Journal report is flagging that a number of ticks aren't just carrying Lyme disease, some are spreading anaplasmosis. While rare, the tick-borne disease can be fatal.
There have been, unfortunately, 3 or 4 deaths related to anaplasmosis in the province of Ontario in the last 1 to 2 years.
They thought that he was not going to make it.
During a long nature walk with his dogs in Halifax, Nova Scotia in July of 2022, Perry Horn believes he was bitten by a tick.
He had a high fever, so much so that the bed was shaking.
He was sent home after his first 2 trips to Dartmouth General Hospital. Doctors initially thought he had COVID, but with his health rapidly declining, he was rushed back to the ER for a 3rd visit.
I woke up, my fingers were purple. My heart and kidneys were failing.
By noon the next day, the doctor was rushing him to the ICU because he wasn't getting any better and they had no idea what was going on.
It's there in the ICU that Horn was diagnosed with anaplasmosis. The most recent national data shows there were roughly 5,800 reported cases of tick-borne illness in Canada in 2024. More than 2,300 of those cases were found in each of Ontario and Nova Scotia. More than 830 were reported in Quebec, though case counts that include anaplasmosis are now believed to be even higher.
Doctor that looked after me said I was possibly the first case in Nova Scotia.
Anaplasmosis is now the second most common tick-borne illness in Canada. The Horns are sharing their story to spread awareness across the country.
Nearly took me.
I had no idea if my husband was coming out of ICU.
Federal funding for TickNet Canada that brought together doctors and researchers who are battling the rise in tick-borne diseases came to an end in March, along with vital work that was being done. The government agency responsible for the cutbacks was unable to answer our questions before our deadline. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Hamilton, Ontario.
We are feeling the heat and humidity throughout the capital and the region this evening, and it's expected to stick around for a few days. People out in New Edinburgh Park today did not seem to mind the heat, though it may not seem too bad today compared to tomorrow, when it's expected to feel a whole lot hotter. Now for another check on the weather, let's go back outside to Jackie, who has more on this heat warning. Jackie.
That's right, Stefan. I mean, right now, it's because we're in the shade and because there is more cloud cover in this late afternoon, early evening, it does feel a lot more manageable. But in the later part into the overnights, temperatures aren't going to surpass or get lower than 21 degrees for the overnight. And then tomorrow, again, like you mentioned, that we are anticipating Tuesday to be our hottest day of the week. A current temperature right now is sitting at 29 degrees. A reminder, the sun sitting closer to 8:50. We've got those northerly winds moving in, and a reminder that the heat warning is not just in place for here in Eastern Ontario, but really parts of Quebec and all of Ontario. Humidex values for tomorrow could be between 38 and 45. Here's a snapshot of what it looks like across the country. It's still fairly cool at St. John's at 20 and sunshine, 26 with a little bit of a mix of sun and cloud in Fredericton, but the warm up is really coming from the Midwest, and you can see that it has really encompassed all of Ontario. Thunder Bay is at 36 degrees. Timmins at 31. Windsor's also at 30, but as we extend ourselves to the prairies, Winnipeg saw a daytime high of 34. Right now they're experiencing 34-degree heat, mainly sunny skies. It hasn't quite affected the northern part of Western Canada, where you can see Whitehorse is at 19 degrees, Vancouver at 20, but that warm-up's already starting to extend into Saskatchewan, where temperatures are hovering close to 30 degrees. Now back here at home, tonight's lows, I did mention Ottawa briefly, 21 overnight with clear skies. It's going to be 21 really all throughout Eastern Ontario, and no cloud cover in sight as well. Tomorrow, though, a different story. We are anticipating mainly sunny skies first thing in the morning, but then we are going to see more cloud cover as we get to the afternoon. Temperatures will feel closer to about 41 and 43 really throughout much of Eastern Ontario, so make sure you're staying hydrated. This gives you an idea of the conditions we could expect. We've already talked about a little bit of that cloud cover moving in. We mentioned the chance of precipitation moving in around Pembroke. This could be between the 6-7 o'clock hour. We could see a risk of thunderstorms between 7 to 9 as it makes its way to the Ottawa area. Kingston, Brockville, though, should remain clear, mainly cloudy skies as we get to Wednesday morning, where by the afternoon for Wednesday, mainly sunny skies in store. Now here's a look at our 7-day forecast brought to you by Davidson Hearing Aid Centers, celebrating over 80 years in family business. 35, but feeling closer to about 43 tomorrow for our Tuesday. Wednesday, sunshine, the 30-degree heat will continue, and that will extend into Thursday, where, yes, there is a chance that we could see some showers moving in, but so far no signs of a thunderstorm. It will likely start to cool in the evening, overnight Thursday into Friday, where those overnight lows are 14 degrees, and the daytime high for Friday is 26. So a reminder, this heat warning, it will be in place until Friday. Tuesday will be the hottest day of the week, and we will likely not see relief until Wednesday night, even Thursday latest. Stefan.
All right. Thank you for this, Jackie. Stay hydrated, everyone.
I like it way better. I think life is better on a flip phone.
Coming up, the return of the flip phone, what a Canadian study reveals when it comes to young people using the older technology instead of smartphones.
Someone's pulled off the ultimate comfort crime.
CTV and Move 100's $15,000 comfort heist.
Track the daily clues, and you could win a $15,000 Lazy Boy room makeover.
Visit Lazy Boy, Canada, Searville, and Hunt Club for exclusive bonus clues.
Want to be sitting pretty?
Submit your daily guess at ctvottawa.ca or move100ottawa.ca.
CTV and Move 100's $15,000 comfort heist.
Brought to you by Lazy Boy, Ottawa, Gatineau, and Kingston.
Comfort that fits your life.
A unique Calgary brain study is revealing just how much your mental well-being can be affected if you reduce the hours spent scrolling through social media on your cell phone. And curiously, it was initiated by a teenager. Here's CTV's Kathy Lee.
Scroll, tap, repeat. For many people, doom scrolling on their smartphone has become second nature. That's how it was for Jarrett Gross.
I always felt like I wasted a lot of time, and it was also hard to stop.
Last November, the 17-year-old decided to make some changes. So he ditched his smartphone for a flip phone where he could not access social media apps and started noticing improvements in his overall well-being.
It was pretty good. I like it way better. I think life is better on a flip phone.
He wanted to know if those changes could be measured, so he asked some of his closest friends to take part in a case study. They switched to flip phones for a couple months while a psychologist conducted before and after brain scans. Dr. Blake Osmos led the experiment, which included a questionnaire.
In the measures for depression and stress levels, as well as anxiety, they dropped like immediately.
And for the brain scans,
what we saw is a decrease of those alpha brain waves in the frontal lobe, which can be correlated with brain fog.
Most of Gross's friends eventually returned to their smartphones, but he is still committed to his flip phone. The teen joins a growing trend of people seeking them out.
This is Nokia phone.
Jerry Ede runs an e-commerce business selling refurbished cell phones and says more and more people want the old school version.
5 years prior, it used to be just seniors that are buying flip phones. But right now we are seeing even the younger generation.
Ede adds that parents are also looking for flip phones for their kids.
And asked, why are you buying a flip phone for your kid? Because I don't want them to use social media.
Gross says he is more present now that he doesn't have easy access to social media on his cell phone, and he hopes his experience encourages others.
I can message people, call people.
To rethink their own screen time. Kathy Lee, CTV News, Calgary.
In tonight's Big Picture, 65-year-old grandfather is recovering after he was attacked by a bison at Wyoming's Yellowstone National Park. The incident was captured on camera at a campground at the national park. The now viral video footage shows the bison charging towards the man, then ramming him with the top of its head, sending the man flying into the air before hitting the ground. The 65-year-old was hospitalized with a broken femur. He says he will be doing physical therapy as part of his recovery and is grateful the attack was not worse. Now to some other stories you need to know right now. Porter Airlines says it will be suspending its non-stop service between Ottawa and Sudbury less than 3 months since launching the direct flights. Porter launched the non-stop service on May 1st with 7 flights weekly from the nation's capital. A Porter spokesperson says the airline has operated flights to the Greater Sudbury Airport for over 15 years, but has seen less demand since the pandemic. The airline is attributing part of that decline to more people driving instead of flying. The final flight will operate on September 7th. A new survey from accounting firm MNP finds most Ontarians are caught in a pre-spent paycheck cycle, meaning much of their income is already spoken for before it arrives in their accounts. 63% of respondents say at least half their pay is already committed to bills, debt payments, and regular expenses before it arrives. The survey also found that 34% of people are cutting back on expenses like personal care, clothing, and kids' activities to get by. Meanwhile, 22% say they are canceling plans or avoiding making them altogether. The first weekend of Blues Fest wrapping up with another great show. That's the Lumineers headlining at LeBreton Flats last night. Blues Fest will take a break for a couple of days, but returns on Wednesday. Conan Gray, Miles Smith, and Natasha Bedingfield are all set to perform on the main stage. Smith Falls' own Brooke Henderson earned $835,000 this weekend for her second-place finish at the Evian Open tournament in France. Henderson lost by 1 stroke in a playoff. She'll try again at the AIG Women's Major Open in England 2 weeks from now.
Having another adventure. It's a very privileged life I've had, I have to say.
Some sad news out of Hollywood. Actor Sam Neill has died. Neill is best known for his work in Jurassic Park, The Piano, and in Peaky Blinders. From New Zealand, Neill was celebrated for his smooth elegance and versatility on screen. A statement on the actor's social media page says his death in Sydney, Australia was sudden and unexpected. In 2023, Neill said he had been diagnosed with cancer, though his family's statement says he was cancer-free when he died and didn't specify a cause of death. Sam Neill was 78 years old.
Anyone who is a regular and frequent operator of your vehicle should be listed on your policy.
Just ahead, an Ontario family shares their story after finding out the hard way who needs to be listed on an auto insurance policy.
Sips and sparkles. Win with Move 100 and CTV.
You and 3 friends can be headed out on a night to remember. You each get a $500 gift card to Charm Diamond Centers.
Plus, enjoy an incredible dinner at the Luxe Riviera Ottawa.
Enter now at our contest page at move100ottawa.ca.
Sips and sparkles with Move 100, CTV, and Charm Diamond Centers.
A little charm goes a long way.
According to Stats Canada, more than 7 million people live in households composed of parents and their adult children. If someone who lives with you is a licensed driver, it's important that they're also listed on your auto insurance policy. Here's CTV's Pat Foran to explain.
I feel very frustrated and very disappointed that this has happened to us.
Vivi and Mohammed Mirza of Markham say their son Adam moved in with them last year. It was supposed to be temporary. Adam borrowed his parents' car to go to a medical appointment and unfortunately was involved in a serious car accident. The claim was denied because their son wasn't listed on their policy.
We agreed that we then declared our son moved in here. He was living in Ajax when we bought the car.
The Mirzas appealed the decision, but their insurance company, Wawanesa, told them, you failed to disclose to your broker or Wawanesa that Adam operates the vehicle with your permission and lives in your household. As such, your right to recovery is forfeited and your claim is denied. The Mirzas say they still have a loan for the 2019 Mitsubishi and still owe $26,000. Now they're paying for a car they no longer have.
What is wrong in allowing your child to use your car for just a doctor's visit?
Anyone who is a regular and frequent operator of your vehicle should be listed on your policy.
The Insurance Bureau of Canada says all licensed drivers in a household should be included on your insurance policy.
When there's a significant change, even though you may think my son's moving back home, it's not a significant change. From an insurance company's perspective, it could be a significant change.
The Mirzas are devastated. They're making monthly payments on a car they no longer have and feel they should have received at least partial payment for their written-off vehicle.
We seem to be losing money constantly. We are dishing out, and we're left with the liability of a car loan and no settlement from an insurance company.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
It's associated with 95% mortality.
Just ahead, understanding the medical emergency that claimed the life of U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham, taking a closer look at the condition and risk factors. Healthcare workers here in the capital were among those holding rallies at long-term care homes across the province today, calling for better wages and working conditions. Workers represented by SEIU Healthcare are calling for better wages and benefits, as well as more secure jobs and workplace safety. The union says many workers are living paycheck to paycheck. The union's Central Nursing Home Bargaining Committee has entered into mediation with employers.
It's chronically underfunded, and it's, not just about the wages. It is really about having that staffing model that's going to keep everybody safe. Health and safety is a big issue within this sector. Violence against both nurses and PSWs is a huge issue.
The Central Nursing Home Agreement covers more than 100 nursing homes and more than 10,000 workers across Ontario. And south of the border, the medical examiner has determined U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham died of an aortic dissection. But what is this condition, and is it always deadly? CTV's Pauline Chan takes a closer look.
The aorta is the big tube that comes out of the heart, and dissection means it tears.
And as you can imagine, it's an extremely urgent situation.
It's one of the most acute and dramatic and high-risk illnesses we see in all of heart surgery. What happens is the big tube or the aorta tears and the blood rushes into the wall. It's associated with 95% mortality.
Senator Lindsey Graham was 71 and was reported to have had a brief and sudden illness when he died. Without knowing details of the senator's medical history, Dr. Bobby Yanagawa says high blood pressure is common as we age, and it may have been a factor. Aortic defects are rarely detected before these catastrophic tears, but a family history can give doctors a clue. Actor John Ritter and Canadian opera singer Misha Bruegger-Gossman-Lee are two other celebrities who suffered aortic dissections. Bruegger-Gossman-Lee's was successfully treated.
The most common presentation is this: when people say, I have a 10 out of 10 excruciating pain that I've never felt, and it's tearing to my back. That's the characteristic pain of dissection.
Yanagawa says call 911 immediately if this happens. His other advice is to visit your doctor regularly to make sure your blood pressure is at a healthy level. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Coming up, a very memorable wedding anniversary for a Petawawa resident thanks to a lucky lottery win. Jackie.
Well, thanks so much, Savannah. Taking a look at the next 3 days, a reminder that Tuesday will be the hottest day of the week, 35, but feeling more like 43. There is a chance that we could see a thunderstorm roll in later in the evening. Wednesday, though, lots of sunshine, 30 degrees is our anticipated daytime high. And as we look to Thursday, there could be the chance of showers, but again, the temperatures will remain high at 29 degrees. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where right now it is 29 degrees. We are looking towards Ottawa South. And again, a reminder, stay hydrated and stay in the shade because it is hot out there.
The National Capital Region is jam-packed with incredible experiences you don't want to miss. Hey, it's Tanea Taylor, your iHeartRadio Weekender, powered by Barhaven Ford. Get the inside scoop on all the biggest and best events every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday on CTV, Move 100, Pure Country 94, TSN 1200, and News Talk 580 CFRA. iHeartRadio Weekenders is powered by Barhaven Ford. Take your weekend pass. We've got the Bronco Sport for it.
Tomorrow on Your Morning Ottawa, we tell you about a celebration of one of Ottawa's most iconic landmarks, the Rideau Canal. Tune in on CTV or stream us live on Crave.
Hairstyles, courtesy of Salon Fiorella.
Coming up tonight on CTV in just a few minutes, you can watch E-Talk. That starts at 7, The Big Bang Theory at 7:30, The Quiz with Balls at 8, and American Ninja Warrior at 9. And Jackie's back for a final check on the weather forecast.
Well, thanks so much, Stefan. If we haven't said it enough, it's going to be very hot. Tuesday will be the warmest day of this week. Take a look at temperatures at 7 a.m., 26 degrees. We'll feel closer to 33. Lots of sunshine in store, getting to a daytime high of about 35 degrees. But with that humidex value, it could feel closer to 43. Now, Wednesday, 30 degrees is the anticipated daytime high. Lots of sunshine, no precipitation in store, but it will extend into Thursday, where 29 degrees is the daytime high. So that heat warning should be in place and is expected to stay in place until Thursday evening, early Friday. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. And it's time now to check in to see what our news team will be working on tonight for 11:30. Austin Lee will be on deck.
Yeah, thanks, Steph, filling in for you. And we've got a story on a situation that we have been following. It has been a few weeks now since we learned about the death of an Ontario woman from a chemical that was sold in Ukraine. Now there's another family coming forward with a similar story, this time in the United Kingdom. That family is begging police in Ukraine to investigate, and CTV's John Woodward will have that story for us tonight. Of course, you can get the news anytime, anywhere at ctvnewsottawa.ca, and join me tonight for CTV News at 11:30.
Will do. Thank you, Austin. Finally for us tonight, a Petawawa resident rang in her wedding anniversary last month with a lucky lottery win. This is Kathy D, who matched the last 6 of 7 encore numbers in the June 10th Lotto 649 draw. That was all she needed to land the $100,000 prize that came in on her 37th wedding anniversary. The mother of 5 and grandmother of 14 described her win as, quote, amazing and overwhelming. The winning ticket was purchased at Becker's on Petawawa Boulevard in Petawawa, of course. Well, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
What an anniversary gift, eh?
No kidding. Yeah, I would love 100,000. It looks like we have the same tie on. Maybe if we won, we could buy each other new ties.
Right, switch it up a little bit.
Honestly, it's like the exact same thing.
It matches Jackie's blue dress, so I'm okay with it.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thanks for watching, everyone.